Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm on the newest launch of the Hunt Ocean Series, the 63. Very much designed to be an owner-operator's boat, a personal boat, and a family boat. Let's see how they've done as I do a full performance evaluation. The engine room is accessed from a watertight door in the transom. Let's take a look. Certainly among the roomiest engine rooms I've seen. 6 feet 4 inches to the overhead. Space between the rails, 33 inches, but I can't help but notice that the rail on the port hand side goes inside the engine instead of giving you protection to the heated side here. So I'd like to see this rail start over in this position, but still gives you stability if you're in here in a seaway. IPS 1350 engines, that's 1,000 horsepower each. The pods are connected directly to the back of the engines, so no need for a jack shaft. Over on the port hand side, the air conditioning systems from Dometic are all over there, nicely organized. The 20 kW Northern Lights generator is forward into port. Hot water system. Here's the fuel filter for the generator, fuel filter for the main engine on the port side and the starboard side. And notice there's a changeover between the two so we can do the cleanouts on the fly. Battery system over on the starboard side, ISO boost system just behind that, and then the cord reel just behind that. Now it's important to notice that there's a door to the cruise quarters ahead of me so we can also access engine room from the crew space. Access to the cruise quarters is to the starboard side of the aft deck, and notice when the lid is open, it's a glass top so that we don't have to go down into a dark and scary dungeon. Well, this is set up for a crew of 1. There's a 24-inch TV over the berth. There's a wet head behind me. And alongside, access to the engine room. To both sides of the aft deck, there's a 12-inch cleat, but it's in the trip zone. I'd rather see it on top of the cap rail. That would also make it easy to tie the boat up from on the dock, and it would eliminate the need for a chalk. As we make our way up to the bow, take a look at this. 21-inch wide side decks. The rails come up, man, 35 inches right at the midship area. Opening side gate. The ground tackle, look at this, large stainless steel plate set up with 2 anchor rollers. This one's got one 60-pound plow anchor, swivel, chain leading through a chain stopper, and it's handled by a Maxwell windlass. There are 2 storage compartments over to the sides. Each one is held up by a strut that is tightened. In between the 2 is the road storage. Foot controls are just ahead. And to the sides, 12-inch cleats again. I'd like to see them mounted to the cap rails, much like the midship cleats. Visibility is through 3 58 by 46-inch windshields with a 26-inch brow over the top. The Flybridge helm is center mounted. Consists of 2 17-inch displays mounted on a raised panel. There's a binnacle compass with a closable door mounted directly in line with the steering wheel. There's a Garmin multifunction display, the Volvo Penta display, Maxwell windlass control, and spotlight control. Electrical switches, Volvo Penta engine controls. I'm happy to see that Hunt has installed Humphrey interceptors, which are far superior to trim tabs, are extremely durable, and double as stabilizers because they deploy so quickly. I also like that Hunt has installed both bow and stern thrusters to handle those strong cross-current situations when moving into a slip that IPS drives on their own would be challenged to handle. The helm seat, both are from STID. They're fully adjustable fore and aft, up and down, and for recline. The left armrest has the control for the forward displays. The right one has the IPS joystick, and this is also going to be used for the joystick steering because it's connected to the autopilot. I've tested boats with STID chairs for years, and I like them not only because they can be fully adjustable, but also because they hold you firmly in place in a rough seaway. I'm certainly glad to see that this owner didn't want to wrap the entire flying bridge in isinglass, but just a few panels up front adds just a little bit of protection. There are 2 storage compartments to either side of the console, and these go all the way across, which also means that we can have easy access for installations to the back of the panel. But more than that, they're a handy place to stow the isinglass when not in use, as well as a dozen PFDs to meet Coast Guard requirements when you have a crowd aboard. The lower deck helm is laid out almost exactly like the one above, so the captain will not be confused about where to find the controls. Two 17-inch Garmin displays, compass in the middle directly in line with the wheel. Nice wood wheel, as a matter of fact. Hunt combines a traditional teak wood console with modern controls and Garmin electronics. Garmin multifunction display, forward-looking infrared camera controller, Volvo Penta display, Maxwell windlass controller, wiper controller, and then the spotlight control. VHF radio way over to the left-hand side along with the speaker for it. Volvo Penta engine controls over to the right-hand side along with the bow and stern thrusters. Up above, all your tank controls, tank level displays, and all of the vessel alarms. This will sound alarms when all the windows are opened, anything like that. Stid helm seat, upholstered in ultra leather, has a flip-down footrest, flip armrest. It's adjustable fore and aft and for recline. On the left, flip armrest, control for the forward displays. The IPS joystick is over on the right-hand armrest. And it is also suitable for joystick steering because connected to the autopilot. Of course, one of my favorite features is the opening watertight side door. That gives you access to the side deck. Now the observer station over on the port hand side, comfortable place to be, but it's also nice if you can give the captain a little bit of help. So for that reason we have pop-up helm station, electronic charting, and space to work chart books over on the side. There's also plenty of storage both underneath and alongside. We also have excellent visibility to the sides and aft thanks to the job that Hunt did on the stairs to the flying bridge. The Hunt Ocean 63 has a length overall of 69 feet 6 inches, a beam of 18 feet, and a draft of 4 feet 2 inches. With an empty weight of 78,000 pounds, 69% fuel, 61% water, and 5 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 84,683 pounds. With the twin 1,000 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS 1350 engines spun up to 2470 RPM, our speed topped out at 31.8 knots and 0.3 nautical miles per gallon. That economy stayed consistent down to 2200 RPM and 26.5 knots. At that speed, the 77.5 gallon per hour fuel burn translated into a range of 329.6 nautical miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 1,070 gallon total fuel capacity. If distance is the goal, then drop it down to 1,000 RPM and 9.6 knots. At that speed, the 10.5 gallon per hour fuel burn translates to 0.9 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 877.3 nautical miles. With a Hunt-designed hull, I have to say I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get windier conditions with a little more chop so that I could have tested her sea handling capabilities a little more. But those are things that are out of our control. On this Flatcom test day, she did handle nicely though. She's surprisingly responsive to the helm with 4 turns from lock to lock. She'll come around 180 degrees at 18 knots in 25 seconds, and she'll do it in about 3 boat lengths, so much more responsive than I would have expected from an IPS-powered boat. She'll accelerate from a level attitude, so that's a combination of design and the interceptor tabs. She's got stabilizer fins instead of Seakeeper gyros, so there's 0 speed stabilization, and there's a lot of stabilization when underway as well, so she'll also turn in a level attitude. When coming back into the dock, the joystick was dialed in perfectly, so small pulses was all it took just to guide us back in nicely with surgical precision. So even though the boat has crew quarters on board, that's probably going to be used for somebody that handles the maintenance chores on board while you're still the owner-operator. At least that's how I see it. And that's my full performance evaluation of the Hunt Ocean 63. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.